it was close to 5-year journey of looking at alternative ways to teach the spiritualist, mediumistic, clairvoyance, clairsentience, clairaudience, even spiritual healing methods, that would accelerate the pace of learning for the students that were coming to learn this material. We finally put together this modeling approach from neuro-linguistic programming, or NLP, that really did work to accelerate the learning of this material. We were astounded by how fast people were able to pick up this material and work with it using this modeling approach. And that was the beginning, and it's been going on now for 36 years, and it's quite remarkable, even to this day. It's always fresh. It's never dull, even though the course is very similar to what it's always been. It continues to get the results that we set out to get in the beginning. Well, first of all, we've had people who are totally green to this kind of thing, no background whatsoever, all the way up through people who've been doing it for decades, come through, and every one of them learned something new about how to work with these capabilities, these skills, in advancing whatever it is they're doing from where they are to where they want to go. So that's the nature of the learning model we have. It takes you where you are and moves you to your next level of working with these things. Mm-hmm. What we do is work with you to try to help you figure out how to make this integrate into your daily life, okay? And it's no longer just about, oh, look at me, what I can do, but it's about, wow, this is a natural, holistic means by which I can experience life on a deeper and more connected to other folks level. Yeah. And that helps people move from where they've been to where their next level is. And it doesn't matter, like I said, what level they are coming to us from. We'll advance them. And that's just the nature. That's how it's worked. I mean, we're not Johnny-come-latelys here, Angie. As you know, we've been doing this 35 years, Elaine and I and others, and it does that for people. That's what we hear back from folks year in, year out. And that was our goal when we started out, and it still is our goal.
I remember, well, when I came to spiritual insight training, I had been doing readings and kind of sort of happened in a random kind of way with my friend Sandy, who, I felt like spiritual insight training for me, with having experience, taught me. It's like, so this is why I can do this. It's not a bad thing. It's a very good thing.
Yeah, it reduces the fears on whatever level people are doing fear,
Every one of us can do this, not just special people. It's astounding because people come in, I've taken the course, people learn, they walk out and, you think you don't know how to meditate, or, you think that you can't connect to your intuition, or, what are these healing gifts? And everybody walks out knowing how to do it. It's our birthright, then it's got to be inside of us. And that's kind of what you're doing with spiritual insight training is connecting us back to that part of us.
It's a skill-based program. It's not, You're not going to get information when you come to a spiritual insight training. You're learning how to do this, not to be taught by somebody who's just going to get up and demonstrate it and you go, oh, aren't they wonderful? No, it's all going to be about, I can do this. Yes. We only teach this course in person. As I said in the beginning, this is not a knowledge course, it's a skill course, and you need feedback. And we have a very high staff to student ratio with lots of small group work where you get lots of feedback from people who know how to do these kinds of things and are comfortable with teaching and assisting you in your own development. And along with the two instructors, myself and you, Angie, now we really provide a high quality, hands-on, you're going to be doing this, not just hearing about it, learning experience. So you got to be on site. This can't be taught like we're doing here electronically. Yeah. People can try to teach it that way, but you don't get the feedback you need. You need that personal interaction. This is a high touch kind of work, not high tech. We need you to come into this environment because what it does is it helps you set all your distractions that you don't even know how many you've got going on aside, and really focus on your growth for a weekend and your capability growth for a weekend. And we find that that is the best method. We provide food. We start on a Friday evening after dinner, and we go Friday into the evening, Saturday as well all day, and Sunday till about 4. It's a highly intensive weekend, and we have tremendous staff. We have good quality meals that we provide at the lunch hour, so you don't have to go out. You get your own breakfast out, and you get your evening meal out. But we do provide lunches to help you get together and visit with your classmates over lunch and so forth. And it is a remarkable retreat experience. It's been that way since day one. We've tried it in another format a number of years ago, and it just didn't have the same effects. That coming away and getting totally engaged in what you're learning and staying focused on that is crucial to your being able to develop these capabilities as high as you can in a weekend. We have small groups where you get to interact and try out these skills and get some feedback on how they're working and coaching with it. So it works out. It's very personal. You get personal attention over the course of this weekend. How do you get to the space inside yourself is what we teach you, so that you can use those capabilities as tools for service of others. How do we use it for ourselves in terms of using it to enhance our own intuitive capabilities, our own knowingness? There's 3 components, and the sequence of the components is crucial as well. The first component is meditation, and that's where we take you first. Now, a lot of people today have taken courses on meditation. A lot of people know how to meditate, but we teach you some very systematic ways that are based on ancient methods. And most of them come out of yogic or Buddhist traditions, but we weave them into the course so that what you end up doing is getting into that deep interior silence that's in there for all of us, that most of the time our minds and bodies are so actively busy, we don't even know that deep well of silence within us is there. And in that silence, when you go in that silence in you and I go in that silence in me, we are one. And we can connect on a deepest of levels with each other from that place. So we have very effective methods to help you get into that deep interior quiet. So that's the first and the foundational piece. Without that, the other next 2 don't work. And the second one is spiritual healing. How to work with the energy that is there for all of us. You don't have to be special to do this either. How to draw on that heart-centered energy in the universe, how to work with it to provide healing, laying on hands, healing, and basically touch method for healing, and to bring that through. So it's really about an opening of your heart to the flow of that energy and to the other person, so that you can, again, from the meditation, moving into that quiet space, center yourself, and then move into the heart space, and then moving that energy that's available through your hands to another person. The third component is what is it that I could clairvoyantly, is the term we use, or it's another octave of seeing than your mental seeing or your physical seeing, or clairaudiently, that's like hearing on a different level than your internal chatterbox or your speaking out loud. And then there's clairsentience, or if you will, your gut reactions to things, those senses that we get when we walk in a room and we know what's going on, but we shouldn't know and don't really know how we know, but we know.
But we know,
how to work with that. So those 3 components are operative in all of us all the time, but most of the perceptive, clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, the perceptive channels are, if not blocked, they're at least not pronounced enough that people are even aware that they're there for them. And that's the, if you will, the exercising of those muscles, those intuitive muscles I was talking about. How do you get to the space inside yourself is what we teach you, so that you can use those capabilities as tools for service of others. How do we use it for ourselves in terms of using it to enhance our own intuitive capabilities, our own knowingness.
I always say this, Mark, to people about intuition. Like you said, you walk in a room and you just kind of know something, or you get those gut feelings and you kind of don't pay attention to them. And then how many times later on, I know for myself, it's like, oh, I knew I shouldn't have done that. Or I knew I should have done that because I had that feeling. And then, like, say in rediscovering my intuitive muscles, I realized that when you get those gut feelings, that's your intuition.
Mm-hmm.
We all have it.
Yeah, we do. And it's to our advantage to pay attention to it, and to our disadvantage when we don't pay attention to it.
Oh, so many times, like I regret that I just knew something and didn't pay attention. Nowadays there's a lot of people who meditate, but there's still a lot of people that feel like they can't. And I've had people say, I don't know, if I should come to the class, because I don't know if I can meditate. I can't stop my thoughts.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest misconceptions about meditation. People have come to think that having thoughts and body sensations, emotions, whatever, during meditation is your foe. And actually, it's your friend. The bottom line is when you slow your body down, you slow your breathing down, you sit down in a chair or on the floor, whatever you're going to sit down to meditate, what ends up happening is you are slowing the body. And as soon as you do that, we are not a separate minded body. We're all one. We just are separate. And what happens is when you slow the body down like that, it's going to generate thought. It's going to bring your awareness to body sensations. It's going to bring your awareness around to what's going on inside of you versus outside of you. Well, that's going to generate thought. So get over it, folks. Just allow those to be there. And what we teach people is to have a focal point, whether it's a visual focal point, an audio focal point, or a feeling body sensation focal point, to alternate between the thoughts, not to try to stop the thoughts, but to alternate between the thoughts and a focal point, back and forth, until your mind gets to be able to just do what it would like to do, which is settle down, or in the words of Sherry O'Teary on Saturday Night Live, simmer down now, simmer down,
Yes.
And, but you don't have to force that. If you try and force it, your mind's just going to go, blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
and you're going to feel like agitated. And the other thing we teach people is do not evaluate a meditation in the meditation. It's a waste of time. You are a very poor a very poor judge of what's going on at that time. So what you need to do is be aware of where you are when you sit down to meditate. How am I feeling? How tormented am I by my mind or emotions at the moment? Or am I feeling unrested or stressed or fatigued? Be aware of that before you sit down. Sit down, go through the process of meditations like we teach. And then when you get up and start moving again, then evaluate how the meditation affected you, because it's really not about your experience in the meditation. It's about how it transforms your life up, moving around. And otherwise it would be just a case of narcissism.
That's true. That's true.
It wouldn't be about helping anybody else then. It'd be only about serving yourself. And this is not where we go.
No.
So you're a poor judge of a meditation when you're in it. And so only evaluate after you get back out and go, oh yeah, I am in a better place than when I sat down. And then you notice when you get into the routine of that, day-to-day routine of that, you build that into your life. What ends up happening is your life starts transforming from the inside out.
And things start going better and things start falling into place. And though, that those intuitive, hits, if you will, that we all get all the time, you recognize them and you use them in your life.
That's right. We certainly go through every day needing physical food, right? And we also need spiritual food. And that's how we get our spiritual food. We used to do Spiritual Insight Part 1 and then a second course, Part 2. Okay. We've combined them now because people are able to learn even faster than they did. And that's been an important shift that we've done over the last several years. At first, we were a little nervous again because we didn't know if people could handle and integrate this if we pushed them all together in a weekend. And we did, and it's really working. And so now it is the way we teach it nowadays. And there are people who have done Part 1 before and want to do Part 2, you could jump in. We'll let you come in and jump in on Friday evening and go through the weekend, which is the portion of the course which is really heavily focused on what we would do in a part 2. So if you've missed out that opportunity of part 2 by itself, you can still pick it up with us here. We have that capability of bringing you in.
I took spiritual insight training a couple of times, and learned something different every single time I took it.
That's right, you do, and it's like the Zen folks say, you can't step in the same river twice.
Oh, that's good. I like that. And that's true. That's true.
Yeah, because you've grown and you've applied it, and then you come back in and you go, oh my goodness, I didn't even remember that. Did you talk about that last time? Yeah, we talk about the same thing each time. And people go, I never heard that. Well, that's because you were working on something else inside yourself at that time. It was important to you then. Right now, like I said, you think you're stepping in the same river, but it's not the same river.